I welcome once again every one of us to this webinar. I believe we've been finding it interesting. Quickly, I want to just read the citation of Dr. Gerald Heusing, who is going to present the next talk now. So Dr. Gerald Heusing is currently an associate professor and DAAD lecturer at the Department of European Languages and Integration Studies at the University of Lagos. He holds a master's, doctorate, and postdoctorate degree in the field of African linguistics from German universities of Hamburg and Leipzig. His research interest is focused on language, Phyla, Afroasiatic, Neo-Saharan, Niger, Congo, and Indo-European. He works synchronically and diachronically in the following linguistic areas: phonetics, phonology, tonology, morphology, syntax, less commonly taught languages, languages description, anthropological linguistic, topology, lexicography. His publications include aspects of the morphology syntax interface in 4 Nigerian languages: defective double object, construction of LAM, the subchain, Leospare, loanwords, and Leo. From 1992 to 2006, Dr. Heusing taught and conducted research at University of Hamburg and Leipzig and did fieldwork in Nigeria. From 2006 to 2011, he served as a senior lecturer and DAAD lecturer at Makerere University, Kampala, Institute of Languages. Subject was German in Uganda. And from 2013 to 2019, he was an associate professor and DAAD lecturer at Addis Ababa University in Ethiopia. Besides research and teaching in the field of African linguistics and German study, Dr. Heusing is a specialist of higher education management, especially regarding tertiary education in sub-Saharan Africa and relation between higher education institutions in sub-Saharan Africa and Germany. As such, he worked as DAAD resident representative in Uganda as well as in Nigeria now, and the director, the DAAD Information Center in Ethiopia, and senior consultant at the DAAD head office in Bonn, Germany, between 2011 2013 and part of 2019. So it's my pleasure to welcome to present the next talk, Dr. Gerald Heusing, who will be giving us an insight into the scholarship opportunities that are available by the German government. You are welcome, Dr. Gerald.
Yes, thank you very much. Let me share my screen with you. Just a moment. Yes. I hope the screen is visible for all of you.
Not yet.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, it's visible now.
It's visible now. Okay. Thank you. I took the freedom to change the title a little bit. The title is now DAAD and in brackets and other German funding for Nigerian students and academics. And the reason for it is that I'm representing the DAAD and I cannot say so much about other German funding organizations. When it comes to DAAD, we have a very short and simple motto, which is scholarships for the best. And many famous artists, scientists, literary figures, and political representatives are of DAAD. Just to mention the 4 whom you can see here: the late Professor Wangari Maathai from Kenya, who has been awarded the Nobel Prize for Peace in 2005, the former president of Peru, Dr. Michelle Bachelet, and her fellow countryman, the author Mario Vargas Llosa, who has been awarded the Nobel Prize for Literature some time back, as well as the German astronaut Dr. Alexander Gerst, and there are very many, which I could mention here, but I just want to give you a picture of 4 of them. The next slide shows you some numbers from the year 2019. In 2019, the DAAD was able to award around 145,000 scholarships, and they were divided into 2 groups. Out of the 145,000, around 60,000 scholarships went to so-called incoming scholarship holders. This is, in other words, foreigners who come or who go to Germany or study somewhere else with a scholarship of the DAAD. And the other group, which is a bit bigger, is the Germans who are outgoing into other countries, universities in other countries, and the number was around 85,000 in that year. And let's just have also a quick look at Sub-Saharan Africa. So I stands for incoming. The number is almost 7,000. That means around 7,000 scholarships have been awarded in 2019 to African scholars, and 2,380 scholarships have been awarded to Germans in order to come to African institutions of higher education. And the total number in that year for Africa was more than 9,000 scholarships. So it's quite a critical mass which we can offer for scholars in Sub-Saharan Africa. The DAAD as such, so that you have an idea of who we are a self-governing organization of the German universities. Germany has around 400 universities, and at the moment 242 of these universities are members of the DAAD, as well as 104 student representative bodies. They form the whole association of the DAAD. And the map, which you can see on the right-hand side, is a map with places where you can find German universities in Germany.
Sorry, hello, Dr. Heusing.
Yes.
Can you do a slideshow? I think it will be bigger, if that is possible.
Okay, you mean yes, like this one?
Yeah.
Okay, good. As I said before, we are an association of the German universities, and the German universities, they pay a membership fee to DAAD every year, but the membership fee is very little, so without that money we wouldn't be able to do much. We rely on other sources. We get our funding mainly from the German government, from different ministries, most of all the Federal Foreign Office of Germany, which contributed 35% of our budget in 2019. Also the Federal Ministry of Education and Research, the Ministry for Economic Cooperation and Development, and last but not least the European Union. These are our main sponsors. They give DAAD the money which we transform into scholarships. And all in all, in the year 2019, we were able to spend 594 million euro for scholarships and grants. The DAAD is in existence since 1925, and in the course of time, we developed a global network, which is displayed here and on this map. I just want to have us to have a look at Sub-Saharan Africa. We have our main office in Nairobi for Sub-Saharan Africa. We have 3 so-called information centers, one in Accra, one in Yaoundé, one in Johannesburg, and there used to be one in Addis Ababa, which has now been transformed into a so-called information point, which is a smaller office. And on top of this, we have at the moment 23 so-called DAAD lecturers in Sub-Saharan Africa, and I'm one of them stationed here in Nigeria. There's a second one also stationed in Nigeria at the University of Ibadan. And as a DAAD lecturer, we are, as the title says, we are lecturing at universities, but at the same time we also take care of the DAAD business. We give information, we advise people how to receive scholarships and so on and so forth. So I saw participants in this webinar, they're not only from Nigeria. I saw two, I think, from Malawi and one at least from Cameroon. So for those ones who are not joining now from Nigeria, please, I would advise you, if you have questions concerning scholarships and DAD, please contact your nearest contact point, not me or my colleague in Nigeria, because the whole framework and the rules may differ from the Nigerian context to your context. So please check the DAD website and find out where the nearest DAD person in your country is, and in case of questions, get in contact with that person. Now let's talk about Nigeria. What are our aims in Nigeria? It is to advance academic exchange and establish networks, to provide information and counseling, to promote German higher education, to grant organizational and limited financial support to Nigerian universities, and last but not least, to award scholarships for individuals and funding for university cooperations. This slide gives you an overview on the development of scholarship holders in the Nigerian-German context, starting from 2010. And it shows that at least from 2015, the numbers are growing constantly. In the last year, we had a total number of 520 scholarship holders in the Nigerian-German context, 467 Nigerians and 53 Germans. The numbers for Nigeria could be even higher. Let me compare these numbers, for example, with the numbers which we used to have in Ethiopia. And Ethiopia is a country only half of the size of Nigeria, half of the population of Nigeria, half of the number of universities. But in 2019, they had the double number of scholarship holders. And the simple reason is that we received very many more applications from Ethiopians than from Nigerians. So I would really encourage everybody who is eligible and who is qualified to try and to apply for a scholarship from DAD, because we can still increase the numbers for Nigeria and the chances are not so bad to be one of the lucky ones. Now in the next part, I will introduce to you some explicit scholarship programs. I cannot introduce all of them because there are just too many, but the most relevant ones I would like to introduce to you in brief. DAD does not only offer scholarships to study or do research in Germany, but also in when it comes to the African context, in your home country or in other countries of the region. Now, in the case of Nigeria at the moment, we don't have any in-country program scholarships, so we don't at the moment have scholarships to study to a master course or do your PhD, or PhD is not true. But when it comes to master, we don't have scholarships to do a master with a scholarship in Nigeria, but we have scholarships also for Nigerians to study and do a master at other African universities. That's our in-region scholarship program. Who can apply? The target group are graduates and postgraduates from any sub-Saharan African country. You must have a first academic degree if you want to apply for a master program, or you must also have a master degree if you want to do if you want to join a doctorate program. We especially encourage female applicants and candidates from less privileged regions or groups to participate in the program and to file their applications. We don't have quota for female candidates, we don't have regions, but we take those applications in special considerations. What is supported? These are individual scholarships for selected master and PhD courses at universities in Africa. This is important to note. So there is no free choice. You cannot just choose any master course and apply for a scholarship with DAD. No, it's the DAD who has selected, which has selected courses for which we offer these scholarships, and I will in a minute show you the number, the courses which we offer in the African context. And the duration of funding, of course, depends on the course program, so 2 years, up to 2 years for a master, and normally up to 3 years for a PhD program. Now let's have a look at the courses and the fields which are available. I start with West and Central Africa. In Benin, we have scholarships for the University of Abomey in the field of mathematics, both master and PhD, as well as at the International Chair for Mathematical Physics and Application in the field of natural sciences, also master and PhD scholarships. There are scholarships available for Burkina Faso in the field of engineering, both master and PhD. In Ghana, we are offering scholarships for Master Phil and Master of Science in the field of medicine and public health at the University for Development Studies, as well as at the University of Ghana in the subjects of humanities, political science, and at the West African Center for Crop Improvement, also in Ghana in the field of agricultural science, both for scholarships for master and PhD. And in the region of West and Central Africa, we are also supporting a network, the CERAS network down there, in the subject field of agricultural sciences, both master and PhD scholarships. But you as Nigerian scholars, you can also apply, of course, for scholarships for other regions. Let's have a look at Eastern Africa. I start with Ethiopia. At Addis Ababa University, we offer scholarships for the PhD program Global and Area Studies. At Awasa University, we offer scholarships for the subject agroforestry. These are and we used in Ethiopia, we also used to have scholarships for a program in railway engineering at Addis Ababa University, but that one was terminated. But I remember when that was the time when I was working in Ethiopia, and we had also at my time, two scholarship holders from Nigeria who studied railway engineering at Addis Ababa University with a scholarship from DAAD. When it comes to Kenya, as you can see, there's a wide variety of courses which we support with scholarships. Let me maybe just mention the fields. It's information technology, mechanical engineering at Jomo Kenyatta University. It's health management through the Kenya Medical Research Institute, but the course as such is taught at Strathmore University, one of the first-class private universities in Kenya. At Kenyatta University, we offer scholarships, PhD scholarships for biotechnology, environmental planning, renewable energy, the last one only master scholarships. At Moore University, we offer scholarships as well as at Mount Kenya University in the field of surgical nursing and public health. And the aforementioned Strathmore University is also in our program. Here we offer scholarships in the field of mathematics, both master and PhD. Sorry, oh, what happened now? I have to go back to the last slide. Yes, that was Kenya. Eastern Africa continues. There are also scholarships available for family medicine in Sudan. In Tanzania, we have two universities or centers which we support. One is Athi University in the field of built and environment analysis, housing and settlement studies, urban planning and management. And at the Tanzanian-German Center for East African Legal Studies, we offer scholarships for law, although the last one may be not so much of interest for Nigerians. In Uganda, we cooperate with two universities and we offer scholarships in the field of public health at Usitima University and environmental and natural resource, as well as plant breeding at Makerere University. And also two networks are part of our Eastern Africa parcel. The African Economic Research Consortium in the field of agricultural economics and the International Center of Insect Physiology and Ecology, ICIPE, in the field of insect science. And also in Southern Africa, you could be applying for DAAD scholarship as Nigerians to study there, in Malawi in the field of aquaculture and fishery science or environmental health, in Namibia in the field of biodiversity management, and in South Africa in the fields of molecular biology and human genetics, and as well as mathematics, or in the field of migration and displacement studies. So these are quite a number of courses, and to round up our in-country, in-region scholarship program, I would also like to mention this kind of program, or it's more or less a network. It's called Strengthening Capacities for Land Governance in Africa, SLGA. This is part of our in-country, in-region scholarship program. We do this together in close collaboration with the GIZ, the German Development Cooperation Program. They have a program strengthening advisory capacities for land governance in Africa. And the other partner is NELGA, the Network of Excellence for Land Governance in Africa. And this NELGA is actually associated to the African Union and also financed by the African Union. So within this SLGA program, we also offer scholarships in Ghana, in the field of land governance and policy or geomatic engineering, and in Tanzania in the field of urban and regional planning, as well as state urban planning and geomatics. So this was a short overview on our in-country and region scholarship program. I'm coming now to the next program, which has the name Nigerian-German Postgraduate Training Program. This program is in existence since 2017. It's a cooperation between DAAD and PTDF, the Nigerian Petroleum Technology Development Fund. And every year, PTDF and DAAD, we are able to offer scholarship for master programs, 30 scholarships per year, and for PhD, 20 scholarships per year, for Nigerian students to study or do research in Germany. And within this special program, there are no courses which we have pre-selected. You can study any course at a German university which is related to the subject areas of the oil and gas sector. The application process has two steps. The first step is you have to apply to PTDF. They make a pre-selection, and the final selection is then done by the DAAD. We had problems in the last years with this program because we didn't have enough applications. Unfortunately, it was only last year, 2019, that finally we got enough applications to give out all of the scholarships. So this might be also a good idea for, of course, for those ones who are studying something connected to oil and to the oil and gas sector. The next program, the third program, we call it EPOS, EPOS. It stands for Development Related Postgraduate Courses. Now, these are mainly master courses at German universities, but also some few PhD courses. And it is open for graduates from all disciplines with at least 2 years professional experience. So after your university degree, you must have worked for at least 2 years to be eligible for this program, to be eligible to apply within this program. What is supported? These are individual scholarships exclusively for postgraduate courses in Germany that are listed on the list of all postgraduate courses with application deadlines under the web address which I have typed here. There are very many, so I cannot give you all the details, but if you have a look at this list, you will find all of the courses which we offer and for which we offer scholarships. Duration of funding depends again on the course. Normally it's between 12 and 36 months, depending on the study program. As I said before, I will not introduce now all the courses. I will just give you an overview on the subjects which are covered. This is economic sciences, business administration, political economics. Next one, development cooperation. Also the field of engineering and related sciences is covered, as well as mathematics and regional planning, agriculture and forest sciences, environmental sciences, medicine and public health, social and political sciences, and education and law. And last but not least, there's also one course, a master course in media, combined with an intensive German language course for about 6 months before the program starts, the study program starts, because you will stay a considerable time in Germany, and of course you need to find your way, you need to make friends and so on and so forth. So we want you also to learn at least some little German, but for these courses you don't need German, they are run in English. Another program is specialized in the field of public policy and good governance. We call it PPGG. The courses they use either English or German, it depends on the course, as medium of instruction. These courses and the scholarships, they are for very well qualified graduates with a first university degree who want to actively contribute to the social and economic development of their home countries. The scholarships are offered both for young graduates without professional experience and for mid-career professionals. So contrary to the program which I introduced before, here you don't need to have professional experience beforehand, but if you have it, you can also apply for it. The important point here is that the part of the sentence which says who want to actively contribute to the social and economic development of their home countries. And this has to be proved, and it's not enough if you write in the CV, yes, I am actively contributing to the social development of my home country or my home community. This somehow has to be proved, like if you have been working with the Nigerian Red Cross, let's take that one as an example, that would be increase your chances, and it has to be proved, so you need to have a letter from the Nigerian Red Cross that you are also active in civil society, so to say. This will increase your chances in this scholarship program. What is supported? The scholarships are awarded for selected master courses at German institutions of higher education. Yeah, again, we have made a selection in this program with a free choice. The courses have an international orientation and are taught in German and or English. And as these courses which we have selected are not so many, I can name them here. There's a course Master of Public Policy at the Hertie School of Governance in Berlin, which is again a very good, a first-class private university in Germany. There's Master of Development and Governance at the University Duisburg-Essen. The Willy Brandt School of Public Policy at the University of Erfurt offers Master of Public Policy with DAAD scholarships. The University of Lüneburg offers Public Economics, Law and Politics. And the DAAD offers also scholarships for management in non-profit organizations at the at the Hochschule of Osnabrück. Hochschule is the German word for University of Applied Sciences, while the next one, Universität, that's the word for university, which is let's say a full-fledged university in the Nigerian sense. And the University of Osnabrück offers Master of Democratic Governance and Civil Society. Master of Governance and Public Policy at the University of Passau, and Master of Public Management at the University of Potsdam. So these were the main programs which we offer in the field of master. You saw there were also some offerings for PhD, but mostly master. And I will now turn to PhD scholarships. That's the next section of my presentation. There are different models. The first model is PhD at a German university, meaning you will go to Germany and you will stay in Germany for 3 years or maybe 4 years, and you do your PhD in Germany. You will be awarded a German PhD. There are two ways to do that in Germany. The first way is normally called individual PhD, and that was actually the old model and the only model which was there in the German university system to do your PhD. We didn't have any structured PhD programs before. Individual means you are enrolling as a PhD student, you have a supervisor, and you do your research, you write your thesis, you defend your thesis, and then you're done with your PhD. The other way are structured doctoral programs, as you know them here in Nigeria. Those programs have been introduced some years back in Germany, but still they make only, I would say, 20% of all PhDs are done in structured doctoral programs. They are also called international postgraduate programs, graduate schools, doctoral colleges, graduate centers, or graduate colleges. So these are the two ways how you can do a PhD in Germany. They both have advantages and disadvantages. In the field, in terms of the individual PhD, of course you have more freedom. You are not obliged, you don't have to sit in classes, you do your research. But a small disadvantage of this way to do your PhD in Germany is that you have to find a supervisor, which can be quite a tough task. While in the structured doctoral programs, you apply to become part of a program, and once you are accepted, you will be given a supervisor. So you don't have to look for a supervisor. But on the other hand, of course, you have to join classes, and you are not as free as with doing an individual PhD. So I think it's a very individual decision to make for each and everybody, which suits your idea of doing a PhD better. Now for the PhD at German universities, we have a scholarship program, and it's always the scholarship is always awarded for a year. After 1 year there is an evaluation, and if the evaluation is positive, it will be extended until you have finished your PhD. So there's an evaluation and extension every year. Normally we say it should take you 3 years, but there could be circumstances where we can also prolong it to 3.5 or 4 years, I mean the scholarships. So that's the first model. The second model is PhD at a Nigerian university. We call it sandwich model. It means that you are enrolled as a PhD student at a Nigerian university, and you will be awarded a Nigerian PhD, but you will stay some considerable time in Germany to do some work in the lab, for example, or in the library, whatsoever. And in that case, you need 2 supervisors. You need one supervisor at the Nigerian side, and another one at the German university. And we expect also the German supervisor at the end to be part of the defense panel at the Nigerian university when the PhD comes to an end. And for the phases which you intend to stay in Germany, you can apply for a scholarship. Not for the whole time, because once you are in Nigeria, we cannot pay you a scholarship, but for the time in Germany, we can pay a scholarship to you. The PhD program, scholarship program, is open to all academic fields. It's not restricted as it is in the field of master courses. And we have the same deadline for PhD programs every year. It's the 31st of October, meaning if you apply on the 31st of October latest, you will be awarded a scholarship. Then you will start with your PhD in Germany, if you take the first model, in the next October, so after 12 months. But you will go before, 6 months before, around April, for the German language course. So it needs at least 1 year beforehand to apply for a scholarship. Now let's briefly talk about postdocs. We also have scholarships for postdocs to do research projects or for continuing education and training, but without aiming for a formal degree or qualification. So those ladies and gentlemen, they already have their PhD. They don't need another PhD normally. So, but you can apply for research projects to go to Germany but the time is restricted. It's between 6 months and 12 months. And there is, in this case, for the postdocs, there's another German scholarship organization, the Humboldt Foundation. I will mention them later on. They have very more to offer for postdocs, so I would always advise Nigerian postdocs, please look at the that foundation. They have more offers, more scholarships for this target group. Let me also say some words about institutional support. We are also doing what we call project funding. Normally, you can also describe it as university partnerships. And within the university partnerships, we normally also fund the exchange of students, of staff between the two countries. At the moment, when it comes to Nigeria, we have 44 different funding programs in this vein. The most, or the best known is the so-called subject-related partnerships with universities in developing countries. So it's always the German partner which has to apply for the funding, but the whole project which you want to do together has to be developed, of course, together, and you will both benefit from the funding, of course, and normally such a partnership runs for 4 years. So you could, for example, have a project to introduce a joint master program with a double degree. That would be a nice program, and we would fund it for 4 years to work it out and to make it start. To give you examples for institutional cooperation which we are funding when it comes to Nigeria, we are funding one joint master program of the University of Jos, the Goethe University in Frankfurt, Germany, the German Film Institute, as well as the Nigerian Film Institute. Please excuse me, I forgot to mention the Nigerian Film Institute here. And the project is a master program, a joint master program called Film Culture, Archiving, Programming and Presentation. It started recently, just in 2019. And the master students in this program, they spent some time in Jos, they spent some time in Germany, and at the end they are awarded a double degree from the German side and from the Nigerian side. Another cooperation which we are funding at the moment is called Performing Sustainability, Cultures and Development in West Africa. This is an SDG graduate school of the University of Maiduguri, in cooperation with the University of Cape Coast in Ghana and the German University of Hildesheim. And the last one, the third one I want to mention is called Institutional Capacity Building in Public Nigeria, a cooperation between the University of Zaria, Lagos State University and the University of Heidelberg. So these are options for institutions which we offer in order to improve the cooperation between Nigerian and German universities. Let me touch also the issue of higher education management, because a university needs to have a top management. It needs to have deans, vice chancellors, DVCs, deans, directors of institutes, and so on and so forth. And for the higher education management, we have a special program, scholarship program, let's call it like that. It's called Dialogue on Innovative Higher Education Strategies, DIES in short. And we offer under this program, for example, training courses like the International Dean's Course, which is a course which takes place every 2 years. It runs for 1 year. The participants, they stay some time in Germany, they stay some time in one country in the West African area, and the last part always takes place in Addis Ababa in Ethiopia. So this is a course to improve the capacities of deans. And actually in the last years we always had 5 to 6 Nigerian deans participating in this program. We have also University Leadership and Management, which is for the middle management. We have a course, Proposal Writing for Research Grants. This, by the way, will take place at the University of Lagos later this year. The first part, it's the proposal writing has always two parts. The first part is most likely to take place online in November, and the second part in April or May next year, and hopefully not online but in person here at the University of Lagos. So once the call is out, we will publish it, and any interested party can apply to take part in this proposal writing workshop. Well, and we have other courses like Management of Internationalization, DS Alumni Networks, and National Multiplication Trainings. In this program, we also have funds for conferences, seminars, for projects, and also for partnerships, but it's all focused on higher education management and not on any other research. Well, I'm coming to the end of my presentation. This address, the funding guide, is, I think, the very most important website for our day. This is the shortcut to our scholarship database. And if you follow this shortcut, you will right hit our scholarship database, which looks like this one here. And on the left-hand side, there is a mask where you can enter some keywords or programs, and of course your country of origin. And I have done it here. I choose Nigeria for country of origin. Left-hand side, if you look down there, I ticked, that's the small blue thing, DAD funding programs only, and it gives me 32 scholarship options in the Nigerian context. I have not made it special for master or PhD. You can still do that. This comprises now everything we have, everything we offer for Nigerians, and only in the framework of DAD. But if you untick the DAD funding programs only, it will give you even scholarships from other organizations like the Humboldt Foundation, and then the number, I tried it yesterday, increases from 32 to 68 different options of scholarships for Germany if you add the other organizations too. So please have a visit on, please visit our database. It's very helpful, and you can always, from the different programs, you will always they will always take you directly to another web page which gives you details about the program and how to apply and so on and so forth. So as I said in the very beginning, there are very many scholarship organizations in Germany. I cannot mention them, all of them, and I don't really know their programs. But one I have already mentioned is Alexander von Humboldt Foundation. This is which is a very good organization for postdocs especially, but it's also worth looking at the Volkswagen Foundation. They also offer scholarships in very different fields. All the political parties in Germany, they have their own foundations which give out scholarships. You know, the churches, the Catholic Church, the Protestant Church, they give out scholarships. The workers' union and so on and so forth. It's a very wide field, and I just can give you here now 2 examples for other scholarship organizations. Now, before I close, some addresses where you can be given more information. Of course, our website DAD.de, you will find everything there, not only about scholarships, but also about how to find a supervisor. What about the visa? What about the travel, and so on and so forth? Everything is explained on our DAD.de website. Also, the funding guide is part of it. I just gave you the shortcut to it, but under DAD.de you will also find it. And another nice website under DAD.de, the shortcut is myguide.de. This helps you, can also help you very much to find the right program for you in terms of study, to find the right scholarship program for you, and also advise how to go about your travel, your visa, etc. You can also write an email to the address given here, infocenter@dad.de. If you have questions, here, my colleague and I, we will launch a Facebook site still in this month. It should have been opened, launched by today, but unfortunately we were not able to do it, but soon, within this month, it will be launched. And you can find it under the keywords DAD, Lectorate, that's the German word for Lectorates Nigeria. So maybe at the end of the month, if you're at Facebook, have a look there. And from then on, we will always distribute the latest information about scholarships and study and research in Germany on our Facebook site. You can also get in touch with my colleague and myself. My colleague is Mr. Ajaguna at the University of Ibadan. His email address is given here, or myself in Lagos, also my address is given here. And since I'm only present today, I would still ask all the participants, please do not only write to me, also write to my colleagues so that we can share the work. Thank you very much for your attention. This is the end of my presentation.
Well, thank you very much, Dr. Heusing, for that beautiful presentation. Focusing straight, maybe you can put in your video now so that we can see.
Yes.
Thank you. So thank you very much. Thank you very much for the presentation, and it's been very very elaborate about DAD. I've had the opportunity to I received the DAD sandwich for my PhD, and I've also participated in the D's course. You know, and sincerely speaking, I thought I know much about DAD, but what you have shown, I mean, I've had hearing so many new things, which I think, we'll have to make use of. Okay, so I could see some, few questions are already in here for you. Somebody said, I think this question was also on my mind, and I saw it. He said, what is the requirement for institutional collaboration with DAD?
The requirement is a mutual agreement on your cooperation. So, and of course, a nice project, so a nice project description. These are the main requirements. If you look into the details of how to apply for it, of course, you will also find that there are forms which have to be filled, for example, who will be part of it on the side of the lecturer. So you need to give the names and a short CV for them. You need to define the objectives of your project and the timetable. But this is all self-explaining if you look at the application forms which are available.
Okay.
But the most important thing, of course, is that you have an official agreement, and due to our experience, it's always very good if you already have a cooperation with an institution or with some people, because at the end it's people who cooperate, it's not really the institutions. Like for you, you have the nice with Professor Walleban in Tübingen. So based on that, you could, I think, develop a very nice project with good chances of funding by DAD. But I think that's even the normal way. I think anybody would start from scratch with a partner in Germany or vice versa, whom he or she or the institution doesn't know.
Okay, thank you. Now, there's a very common question. So many people ask this. I will just read one. I will skip. He said, this person said, I've been trying to apply for DAD fellowship, but the challenge is getting an host. Can you give a practical step on how to secure a host? This looks like a very common question.
Yeah, that's, as I also mentioned it, it's a big task. It can be very difficult to find a host. In order to avoid it, you could try to become part of a structured program. Then you don't have to look for a host. But if you still insist of going for an individual PhD, of course, you have to find somebody. Well, we have on our website, we have some information and hints how to find a proper host. So if you go under the subsection scholarships and funds for foreigners, you will find another area where it is described how to go about it. So they give you some hints there. For example, there is a website, the so-called University Compass, where all the programs are listed which are offered by German universities. So that can already be helpful to scale down at least the institutions where you could do your PhD. By this you can make a smaller selection, and then of course you have to look at the websites, who is working there, is there really a person in my field, where in the field I want to do my PhD. And so you narrow it down again, and once you have identified a person, or maybe 2 or 3, then of course you have to approach those prospective supervisors. Normally these days we do it by email. There are some rules you should follow. You have to be very formal. You don't write hello prof or something like that. You have to write dear professor, and then the last name, like my colleague Professor Valle also told you when it came about publishing. It's the same here. You have to be very formal, and the subject of your email should catch the attention of the professor you are writing to, because you have to imagine they may receive very many emails like that every day, and sometimes I guess they don't really look at it. But if the title is really catchy, the subject line of your email, and says already something in brief about what you want to do, it may catch the attention so that the professor may really in depth read what you have written to him. The email as such should be brief, because again, these people don't have much time, so make it very brief and simple, but formal. And you should also make 2 attachments. A short CV. Short means best would be 1 page, but actually not longer than 2 pages, because again, those people, they don't have much time. They don't want to read 20 pages of CV. So make a very short CV. It's the most important points. And the second attachment should be your PhD proposal description. Again, that one should not be too long. I would say something between 5 and 10 pages, not longer than that. If the professor is interested in it, he will come back to you, and if he wants to know more, you still have the chance to add something to your proposal. But in the first step, make everything short, simple, and come to the point. These are some advices I can give you. We also developed an information leaflet about this topic, and once we have launched our Facebook website, we will share it there for everybody to download it and to look at it.
All right, thank you very much. There's one question here, although I find this strange. He said, the question is this: one of the limitations we actually face when applying for DAAD scholarship is that you must have some certain amount, say 4 million naira, before you can be awarded, which is somehow huge. How can one go about this? I don't know, but I think this person is missing DAAD with having your account, a funded account in Germany when you want to fund yourself. Maybe I will allow you to respond also to that.
Yes, Prof, you are right. The person is confusing it. If you go to Germany for studies without a scholarship, then you need to deposit a certain amount of money into a German account. But if you have been awarded a scholarship by DAAD or any other organization, you don't need to deposit any money. It's no, you don't have to.
Okay. All right. So thank you, sir. So there is another one here. Dr. Heusing, sir, kindly enlighten us more on DAAD re-invitation fellowship.
Yes, re-invitation is our program for alumni, those ones who had a master or PhD scholarship under DAD. They can apply for a so-called re-invitation to Germany, which can be between 3 or 6 months. You can apply every 3 years. So once you have been in Germany, you have to wait for 3 years to apply again. Of course, like with all our programs, not every application can be granted because there's always scarcity of funds, of course. There will be a selection. But any alumnus can apply for this program. You need to have an invitation letter from a member of staff of a German university who says that he or she will take care of you and that you will be given an adequate working place like a desk and a computer, and then you have to fill the form and you apply. I think the deadlines at the moment, they are 4 times a year, but to be sure, whoever asked this question, please look at the database because all the application deadlines are also given there.
Okay.
But again, this is only for alumni, former scholarship holders.
All right. Yeah. Okay. So this person, yeah, the issue of securing a visa is big, even when
Yes.
you won't secure admission. How can you be of help in these circumstances?
Well, we have to make a difference again. Either you are self-sponsoring or whether you are a scholarship holder from any German organization. If you are self-sponsoring, of course, there are special rules, like you have to deposit some money. You have really to submit quite a number of certificates and things saying about who you are. But I'm only familiar, of course, with the other kind of group, our scholarship holders. And for our scholarship holders, well, there is actually an agreement between our organization and the German Foreign Ministry, which is our biggest funder. And this agreement says that anybody who has a DAD scholarship and whose papers are complete and in order and correct, he or she will be given a scholarship. So even a visa, yes. Even here at the consulate in Lagos, those people they put them into a special category, the ones who have been awarded a scholarship. So they go another path than the other ones. So for scholarship holders, it may also take time because of many people, but at the end they should not face any bigger problems or issues. But I've heard without a scholarship it may be quite difficult to get a visa, but I cannot really say much about it.
Okay, so this is unstructured program, which I think is quite interesting because you don't have to be looking for a host. I will just put this together so you can just comment on it. How do we get connected to a structured program? Another person say is, are all universities in Germany involved in structured postgraduate programs?
Yes. I would say at least 60% of German universities, they offer structured PhD programs today. And the question is how to find those programs. Again, please visit daad.de. You will find some links which help you to identify those structured programs. But I can also give you one information here. I already mentioned the website, which is called, unfortunately it's in German, it's called Hochschulkompass, so universitykompass.de, and there you have a list and you can search within this list of all programs which are offered at German universities, and you can even set a filter which then will give you only the structured PhD programs available at German universities.
Somebody said I've applied.
You could also, maybe I can add another point. It's always also very helpful, this is our experience, if somebody in Nigeria can help you, so like an alumnus, for example. So if you know anybody who has been already under DAD scholarship, you can also, of course, ask that person, and she or he may be of help to you. Like, for example, how to find a place where you can do your PhD. So the networking is also very important.
Okay, so I think, okay, someone says, I've applied for DAD, and the third time, the reason for my rejection was that I can only apply 2 times. I want to ask, are there other ways I can benefit from DAD scholarship? Thanks.
Well, if you have already applied several times and you were not successful, then I think you should look for another scholarship organization, because these decisions, they will be in your file. I mean, if you are still applying with the same project, because you know the reasons for rejection, they can be twofold. It's either a thing which is connected to your CV. Maybe you know, there's a restriction, for example, for PhD. When you apply for a scholarship, your last degree, your master's degree, normally should not be older than 6 years. So if you apply after 7 years, then you're automatically not eligible for a scholarship with DAD, and your application is rejected. There could be other reasons connected to your own CV. But mostly these are the reasons for rejection are connected to research projects. We give the research projects or your PhD proposals, they are looked at by independent committees of German professors. We have committees for each and every subject, like we have one for medicine, and we have one for literature, and so on and so forth. So they look at the proposal, they evaluate it, and they also compare it with other applications within the same cohort. And so only those applications, those projects who have scored very high, they are, so to say, surviving. And even sometimes they have to be made very tough decisions. Very good, sometimes even very good proposals cannot be awarded a scholarship because the competition of very good proposals was just too high in that year. But as I said before, if you have applied already 2 times or 3 times with the same proposal and without any changes on that proposal, then of course you will never be successful. So you either think about going to another, try it with another organization, or you have to write another proposal, or you have to modify your proposal. But of course, never apply with the same proposal.
Okay, so finally, I think this will be the final question here. Although you've already mentioned it during your talk, this person said, please, does DAD offer postdoc opportunities?
Yes, we do. It's only one program for shorter stays in Germany between 6 months and 12 months, so half a year or 1 year. This is only for postdocs to do, you know, a research project in a lab, or to, sometimes people use it also to just finalize an article or a book, because it can also help to pull you out of your normal living conditions with all the small and big problems you may have in your family context and so on and so forth. So it's you can also use it to just go to Germany and to round up or to write an article or a book without doing much research. This program is there. It's for postdocs. It's called something like short-term scholarships. But if you use the database, there's an option to click postdocs, programs for postdocs, and you will easily find the program there.
So I think that is the last question we'll be able to take in this round, while we welcome the next person. But once again, on behalf of the Vice Chancellor, I want to thank you for taking this time out. And I'm sure we'll still get back to you. And of course, you've shared also your email with so some of the other people that are having questions can just write to you. And just like you said, please, if you are writing, you can ask, don't direct everything to Dr. Gerald, so that it will not become too overburdened by trying to answer everybody. There are 2 DAAD representatives that is available, and he has shared both emails. So you can make use of both emails, and then I'm sure somebody will be able to respond to you. Okay, DAAD certainly has a lot of fellowship, which will be very useful for everybody. So once again, Dr. Heusing, I want to say thank you very much for this time, and hopefully we'll be able to see you again, maybe in one of our other programs.
Yes, thank you very much. It was my pleasure.